Hello. Sure. And then we'll see what she says. If she gives them a PR bond, I'm okay with that. Deduction for now, but if she says PR bond, again, it's her choice. The other case is currently at $500. That should produce $500.
500 for all.
Or it's 500 for the 2 felonies, and the attempted theft is $300. That's a.
350.
Yeah. I'll make a note of it. Sure. It's going to be Daniel. There's a normal spelling.
Can you pass this to the judge? Yes, you got my name. I was able to mail one, but nobody sells stamps.
Oh, nobody sells stamps.
Nobody sells stamps. In one place they did, and they only had 3 of them.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
she got the, I don't know if she got the card, but. it's
Oh,
only-
my gosh. My mom is going to appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Okay, we got it there. Stories to tell, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, awesome. And so where were you again?
I landed in Athens, and then I flew to Cairo, and then I went to Luxor,
Mhm.
and then I flew to Doha.
Well, step over this way. So my,
Yeah, let me go get it.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, step in front so my mom would know who you are.
Oh.
No, right behind the line.
This week,
Yeah.
Ken Baker's coming back Thursday.
So my mom is going to appreciate the postcard. She loves getting that.
You know, it sucks getting old. I went to the counter and I said, I'd like to mail this. Tell me some stamp.
Turn himself in.
Let me call somebody, and the other person came over and they said,
Voluntarily.
let's check. And they came back and they said,
Basically.
sir, we no
failed
longer
to-
sell stamps. It's been
There's
some
like
time
address
since
and
we
then
did that.
failed to transfer.
Gosh, how do you get postcards sent?
I send postcards, but I don't know how you mail them.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that was right along with, can you give me a taxi or take me to the airport? Oh, no, sir, we don't do that. So the ancient Egyptians, the ones that mastered the paper, papyrus.
Most of the time. they-
So
they
that's
jump
the
straight.
papyrus. Now,
Oh, wow.
the topic there is something that I might have enjoyed when I was in high school or college,
Mhm.
but I figured you got a nephew or a niece who might like something like that.
Yes.
And that's the reason for that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so here's my question, because I really
Any
was
case.
thinking about
Okay.
going to Egypt
Oh, yeah, I might need to.
and during the cruise on the Nile. I'm hoping it's gonna
Oh,
be
the
like a
first
murder
time.
mystery, because they have a little
Yeah.
sort of
That's
like a
really-
cruise boat you can
I've never
take.
seen them actually put-
I'm imagining it, hopefully, it will be like 1940s.
Well, that's the reason why-
So how was Cairo?
All the boats
Yeah,
leave
you
from
don't know. I don't
Luxor.
think They would take.
The cruise boats,
while they're
they go down to
still
the dam.
Mhm.
And I guess there's some that come up to Cairo, but they're all gonna be the same size,
Yeah.
about the same vintage. There's a couple of steam water wheel boats.
Hey, I'm up there county. You
And
better.
the minimum
Yeah.
ride is 3 days.
Lay that log.
Mhm.
But you can
I've seen
pretty
trouble.
much catch
Um,
everything you need to catch on land.
Only if I get
Luxor.
to say the, I'm just kidding. please.
I saw quite a few
Don't take it.
Americans
Yeah.
touring.
It's a prank call.
Impressed. I didn't expect that.
Wow.
Let me.
So you're not the first to have that thought and they're pursuing it. What there is to do there is that National Museum. You can spend 3 days there and you can learn so much about Egyptology from that. And then you go to the pyramids and go in a couple of tombs and see the carvings in sandstone.
Yeah, we can.
And was there any problem with security?
Let me talk to him, make sure I said this.
Do you feel any fear?
Any information as far as it's turning out?
No.
there?
Not one bit. They appear to be very gentle people, very Islamist, and they're very honest.
And I was.
And they would feel guilty about cheating you. I'd be surprised if anybody did anything like that. Now, you're always careful about being on them. Sometimes you got looks on the street that weren't very friendly,
Mhm.
but the wife was dressed humble and
Yeah,
covered up, so we weren't disrespectful.
yeah.
But there were some Europeans that were, and I don't think they were well received, but that's really not an issue.
Yeah, okay,
It's really
awesome.
not an issue.
The only reason why I say that, because one tour group, I was there like, oh, you'll have security. And I'm like, Do we really need security?
You don't need it.
Okay, awesome.
What you need is a strong stomach and to be staying at a decent hotel because you cannot eat anywhere else but a European or an American hotel. It can be, that can be dangerous. That could be disastrous.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't trust anything. That tomato, a melon, a lettuce, nothing. And that just limits what you're gonna eat.
Okay.
Anyway. I tell the story that when I first landed in Cairo, Mexico was playing and I went to a hotel. I said, I want to catch this game. I said, go to the restaurant next door. I went to the restaurant. I said, let me have a vodka and water. Come on, man, make it a double,
Yeah.
right? 3 drinks later, the wife's having the same. Sir, you're at $600, right?
$600 for 3 drinks?
$600. I got to, I think it was a Sheraton in Doha at 3:30 in the morning, because that's when they fly at night for the airplane to be able to lift off. And so we got there and our check-in time was at 3 o'clock that afternoon. I mean, we need a place to rest. We haven't slept in almost 24 hours, 36 hours. So that's $1,200. I need a taxi to the airport. Well, that'll be 300 euros. I mean, everywhere you go, and it's American corporations doing it to you.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like, it was just,
So did you pay the 300?
oh yeah, and the 1,200 for 6 hours. Let's just put it this way, I'll be working here for a little longer than I thought I would be.
Okay, so I need to plan for the ground transportation. But I'm good because I don't drink alcohol. So tell me, did the soda cost a lot?
No, it's really inexpensive. Everything
Okay,
is
see,
inexpensive.
You know what's so great?
There's a lot of shopping, a lot of jewelry, a lot of little carved stones, a lot of stuff you're gonna want.
When I went to Europe, because I don't drink alcohol, that was the cheapest thing there. The
Are you
alcohol.
saying this for the benefit of the lady in Shreveport?
No,
Johnny?
I don't like the taste of it, but the alcohol was like €2. And I remember we were at the dinner table and I said, okay, who ordered this drink? That was €12. And it was me because it was a medium soda. And I'm like, okay,
No.
water for me.
I would highly recommend it. It is a trip of a lifetime. The World Cup was exciting, especially the 2 games I went to. And going to the Parthenon in Greece was kind of nice. It was a very nice, going to the National Museum was nice. But the complete highlight would be the pyramids, the tombs, and the National
So
Museum.
you just were able to travel all around because you were in Doha for the games?
We had no choice because you can only stay in Doha if you have a game ticket for that day. So if you want to spend several days, you got to get out. You can't stay there. You got to get out
Okay, why can't you not stay there?
because they didn't have enough hotel rooms.
Ah,
And so people who were at the World Cup were coming in from Amman, Jordan, from Greece, from Egypt, from different places. You know, they're flying in, flying out. I mean, people with money follow their team throughout the cup. We as Americans are pretty certain to be out after the first couple. And we scheduled it to have one Mexico game one day, and the next day we saw one US game. So
Oh, wow.
that was a smart thing to do. But
well, I'm glad you made it back safely. And now I'm definitely going to put Egypt on my list.
it should be a priority.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. And I'll let my mom know you would have mailed a postcard, but they don't sell stamps.
getting one.
Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Let me just call the docket real quick and then I'll take up your matter. You'll be first in line.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Today is Friday. I guess we have more inmates than people who are on bond. So everyone whose client is in custody, I'm not going to call the custody list, but you'll need to approach the deputy and have them bring your persons out. If for any reason your person wasn't brought over, it's because there's a limit to the number of people that they're allowed to bring over from the jail. But I anticipate we'll still be able to handle your problem, even though your client is not here. And so those are the people who are asking for PR bonds. But if you want the PR bond to be heard with your client present, just let me know and we'll put them on the docket for next week. So it's Friday, so it should be joyous. We just finished a jury trial. I mean, the weekend starts, but once Friday is over, your weekend is really over too. So that's what you have to deal with. So on bond, we have Jose Garcia. Jose Garcia. This Friday is not starting off great, Brenna. Henry Peterson, I know you. You don't even have to answer to the docket anymore because I know you by name and face. Jesse Rabago. Thank you. Courtney Pride. All right. Is she related to Charlie Pride? Okay. Do you know who Charlie Pride is?
She says so, Judge.
See, you know, if you're in Texas, you should know that. Arnold Garza. Carlotta Garcia. Nicholas Armstrong. Oh, Brenda, it's not going to be great. Sim Wilson.
He's in custody, Judge.
Okay. Was he brought over or no?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Joseph Anzaldua. Thank you. Denis Yarborough. Thank you. Am I pronouncing your first name correctly? All right, see, you got to tell me. So how do you pronounce it?
This is Donnie. Donnie is like adding an extra D in front of Donnie.
Didani. Okay, I'll remember that. Betty Jean Gonzalez. Aaron Sturm. Thank you. Anaya Smith. Ayana Smith.
She's in custody, Judge.
Oh.
She was not brought over.
All right, thank you. Miriam Padron. Thank you. All right, is there anyone else who's in the audience and your name was not called? Yes, what's your name, sir?
Benjamin Castrita.
Could you pronounce the last name again for me?
Castrita. With the CASTRU.
Ah, we were looking for him the other day, right? I think that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you supposed to be here yesterday?
Yes, but then my court appointment told me that.
All right, do you have your SID number,
No,
case number? All right, just give us a moment. All right, everyone. So again, if you're going to ask for your inmate to be brought out, make sure you don't leave the courtroom because it's a lot of logistics that goes into that. Do not approach the court if you haven't talked to your client and conferred with the state. All right, everyone, put some patience in your pocket. Have a great one. Christina Mendiola. Hello.
No, I'm good.
Hi, who do you have on the docket today?
I have Matthew Verhey.
I'm sorry, could you
believe it's
repeat that
his
again? Could you repeat that again?
Matthew Verhey.
Okay.
What are you going to need?
Brenda, do you see him on the docket? You said Matthew.
Yes, his cost number is, play really quickly, 20.
Oh, I see it. Thank you. All right, I see it. Just give me a moment. State. Miss Mendiola is going to be conferring. She's in Webb County or somewhere.
Yes,
All right. And the number that's listed on the docket sheet, the 956 number, is that where they can reach you?
that is correct.
All right. So they're gonna, if you want to blacken your screen, stop video, and they're gonna call you.
What they're doing. May I leave it here?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And when you guys get a chance, could you bring out Matthew? Deputy Laura, was Matthew Verhey brought out or oh no?
So what's the last name?
Matthew Verhey. It's on page 13 with a V. It's
Downstairs, Your Honor.
okay. All right. Just give us a moment. His attorney is by Zoom. Where did Roberto Ambrosino go?
but I know I said him, this is not large, you asked me. You didn't do that. Yeah.
Mr. Brawback,
No,
you're on Lucas Rodriguez? All right, let me give you this, and if you'll present it to the state to confer with
I
them.
already looked at it,
Oh,
Judge.
yeah. Are you gonna have any objections to it?
Judge, I told defense that I would agree to lowering the bond that's set currently at 7,500 to 500. That would be where I would agree to.
Well, I mean, he has, okay, his bond, my understanding on the criminal mischief is at $500.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you agreeing to lower it to?
So there's another charge that he has. It's unauthorized use. That bond, I believe, is set at $7,500 right now. So that's what I was agreeing to lower that to 500.
All right, could you pull up the B page on that? And it's on the unauthorized use. The SID number is 929641.
Yeah.
Name?
And I'm sorry, what did you say you would reduce the bond to?
$500 just to match
Okay.
anything else. He also has one misdemeanor where that bond was set at 300.
Okay. Oh, no, I have the misdemeanor on this, unless this is outdated. It's set at $3,000. The attempted theft.
I have it here. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judge, if you like to take a look real quick.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so when was that set? For 300?
Yeah.
Okay, and so in this bond again, setting it at
500.
500. All right, and then with regards to, none of his cases are indicted, so Mr. Brawback, if he is unable to still make bond and you want it put on the docket and have him brought over, just let us know.
Okay,
All right, so I'll set the bond at $500.
$500 is for the unauthorized use.
Yes, and then so his other bond, which is the criminal mischief, is $500 as well.
Okay,
All right, but just so you all know, in case, Brenda, in case anybody wants to pull it up, you don't have to put it on the record because this is recorded. But his history, he has a history on unauthorized use cases. So this is not his first one.
okay.
The other issue I want to address, is there any, if you know, any drug issues with him? I see some possessions cases, but I see that they were all dismissed. So I don't have any information before me that would suggest that there is any drug history. So. Oh, well, wait a minute. So they are recommending in the evaluation, they're recommending drug and alcohol treatment. So according to the new laws, I have no choice. I have to recommend drug and alcohol treatment.
Okay.
Oh, for this one? Okay, for this one, he's already on bond. So he's made bond?
Yes, but on the criminal mischief, he had the $500 bond already.
All right, so that one he hasn't made.
Okay, that makes sense then. So,
Okay.
So did you all want to reduce the criminal
I'm
mischief?
fine with reducing the criminal mischief. You want to-
Can you print that one out for me?
I'll leave it to the court's discretion.
Well, I mean, what do you all suggest? Because it's at 500.
Say 250.
50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then with the $250 bond for the criminal mischief, I'll still ask for drug and alcohol treatment.
Drug and alcohol treatment
Mhm.
is 300.
Without,
And he's made bond on authorized use.
right, on 75.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, be excused.
yes,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. I was at 2. Christina Mandiola,
That's,
can I see the file on her client? It's Matthew Verhey.
Yes, Your Honor.
Verhey. Yes, what is happening with your case?
So it seems that he's has other pending cases. I guess they occurred around June, which is the time that he did not appear to our last court setting. So we'd like to have a reset so that way we can see what's going on with those. There were several.
All right, do those other cases have a setting or no? Are they
No,
pre?
they don't.
All right,
I
Ms.
believe they
Ferguson.
might have happened during that time that he did not show up.
All right, and what are those new cases?
Their harassment, I understand.
Okay, all right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Verhey, we're gonna set this in January, but if you want it brought back sooner, just let us know.
Yes, Your Honor. And if I need to ask for a bond, would that be with you or?
If you want a bond for him, you'll have to set it before the 20th.
With you?
You can set it with me, or either you can have the presiding judge hear it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What date in January? All right, so we're going to recall this on January 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a great day.
All right, you too. State, what new cases does he have?
So she has, there's a harassment that's awaiting filing, and then in the harassment offense report, there's multiple other SAPD numbers referenced that make me believe that there could be more.
All right, so when we come back on the 23rd, if you can make sure that defense knows what those new cases are.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, yes. Just one second. All right, so off the record. Everyone, let that be a reminder to everyone in here. When your mom calls, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're the president of the United States and you're surrounded by royalty. You answer the phone for your mom always. So, and I have no objection to anybody answering the phone call from their mom, which is what I just did. So, all right. So we're back on the record. All right. So you have no objections to the motion to withdraw?
No, no.
All right, so the motion is granted. You're excused. All right, Mr. Wilson, are you able to hire an attorney or do you need one appointed to you?
Appointed for this moment.
Okay. State and Mr. Wilson, I want to let you know, I don't take any of this as true because I don't know anything about your case. I only know what you're charged with. State, I'm trying to figure out if his level of felony, is it just going to be at the 3rd degree level or is there some other cases out there that I don't know about?
I think it was just the 3rd degree, but let me check, Your Honor. Just
All right. Do you know if it's just the third?
Yes, it's just the, that's the only one that's I can find out what it's. It should not be an unindicted case.
Okay, if you could remain in court a little bit, we're gonna get you an attorney right now. And that way, if your attorney has any information to exchange, he'll be able to exchange that. Okay, all right, just have a seat in the box and we're gonna get you an attorney. Ms. Ferguson, can we see if we can have an attorney come over for Mr. Wilson, please?
You never know. And then I said,
Well, he needs an attorney and I want one to be here today.
that's it. I just double checked. That's it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I didn't even see the offer. Go, didn't I?
Who's here on, okay, on Victor Ramirez? What date can we give that, Ms. Ferguson? And is he in custody?
Yes, sir.
All right, has he been brought out?
He could go back.
Can you let him know his attorney is ill? So we're gonna call him back on the 23rd. And if his attorney is able to come in sooner, he can just put it on the docket sooner. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Take that one over there.
Here.
Yeah.
Theta Reyes.
That's my judge.
All right. And where is Reyes? All right, come forward.
Yeah, there's a third on there.
And I know I have some officers in here. I'm going to take your matter up shortly. All right, counsel, what's happening with this case?
Judge, I conferred with the state, but when she got picked up on this case, because she had a warrant, he has a new drug case that came out of that arrest. I don't represent her on that case. And according to the state, the labs are not back that case. So they want to wait to make me an offer so that they can put a package deal together.
It's a first degree, Judge.
Oh.
I looked in our electronic discovery. I didn't see any drug labs. It's all the submission form, but nothing else.
All right.
At this point, Judge, I'd simply ask that she be interviewed for a yard bond. In this case, because she's remanded a lot.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Reyes, can I have a 30-day reset? And if your attorney wants you brought back sooner for the PR bond, hearing, he can just let us know. All right, so we're gonna come back on January 23rd.
Done through things.
All right, we'll see you then. All right, thank you. Miss Reyes, can you take him back? Yes. Yes. All right, and Norma, were you able to get in touch with one of those other attorneys? All right, just Norma. Okay. All right, who's here on Aaron Stern? Yes. All right, Courtney, you're here for Courtney Pride?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take that up after you speak with Ms. Ferguson.
Orlando, there's Johnson's and,
I know, I appreciate that. All right, let me see. What about, Alfonso? Yes. Alfonso Cabanas. Thank you. Yeah. If you could speak to Ms. Ferguson, please. Who's here on Courtney Pride? All right, you can come forward.
That'll do it. Here we go. That's right.
Good job.
All right, state on this case, did you speak with the complaining witness?
Yes, Your Honor, we have spoken. There's one complaining witness that we haven't been able to reach. We've had numerous numbers, but there is one.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're whispering. You're pulling a Marcus Sanders on me. Marcus does whisper.
Sorry, I was wrong.
We appreciate it, though.
There was one complaining witness that we weren't under the contact. Understand that we've called numerous numbers and haven't been able to speak to them, but we were able to speak to the other complaining witness in this matter. So
were you prepared to make an offer?
yes, I was actually writing that in right now.
Oh,
I think that'll resolve it, Judge, but we'll need some time to.
all right. So do you know what the offer is, though?
He has a good idea what it's about. to be.
It's a 3-letter offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are we calling it back for?
If we could call it back, we'll need time to do the contract and all that stuff.
Ah, okay.
Application, probably the stuff.
So it's for a PTD?
That's what the offer is. We'll talk. But I just saw that being written in the file as I walked in.
Okay, all right. Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD reset date for Courtney Pride. All right, so we'll come back on February 2nd. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form and let her know who Charlie Fried is. Okay.
Here you go.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I figured that would change whenever you walk past.
Louis Patrick Contreras. Okay, and what is happening with this case?
Judge, we signed a discovery acknowledgement, have been confirmed with Mr. Sanders. There was a plea offer that was rejected, and my client is asking for a jury trial.
You want to go PDD application?
All right, Mr. Contreras, your plea deadline date has expired. What that means is the court will not accept any offers in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date on Contreras, please. Yes. All right, your jury trial date is going to be February 7th. You'll be brought over dressed for trial in what other clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something differently, you'll have to sign a clothing exchange with your attorney. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
February 7th.
February 7th.
February 7th, yes.
I mean,
And defense, were you able to talk with the other attorney before he left?
I think this person's calling.
Okay. All right, thank you.
A half a gram.
2024.
Good morning.
no, I don't think so. But I don't know. We could finish this.
Yeah, is the date in there? No, we're not done.
Okay, I'll put it
Okay.
Good morning to you.
18 months.
This report says 1 4. Left in land is half of it.
All right, could I see Detective Pelkey? Yeah.
Give me, just a minute, go back. I can make an offer to.
Oh, no.
All right, Aaron Sturm. Hello, so on this case, good morning. So this is for sentencing.
Yes, Your Honor, the state night, we had agreed to waive PSI, but Judge Angelini, he gave her option, waive PS, if we waive PSI, he would sentence her to 30 days in jail.
Okay,
And my client decided maybe 30 days wasn't a good idea. So we're here, Your Honor.
Judge, and before we go forward, I did just want to ask you, the victim in this case. We originally sent the victim impact statement for him to fill out back in January. He claims that he didn't receive it because he moved. And that's something that he would like to do, have you review before sentencing, which according to the code.
well, when were they?
But he has not, we don't have it back yet, so, I just wanted to ask the court potentially to give him time to fill that out, or we can zoom in Monday and we can finish this, but I mean.
All right.
it's
So
honestly-
are you employed? Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so,
Your Honor, may I just add to this? He has been in contact with the DA's office. He was told about the plea bargain. They met with him because Michael Villarreal had told him when they were gonna meet with him and what the proposed plea bargain was. So Friday before the plea was taken on Monday, they contacted him for the entire time since January, Your Honor.
so this is what I'm gonna do,
Right now.
because I believe that everybody should have a chance to voice their opinion. I see what your plea bargain agreement is. I will allow you to appear by Zoom if there's an issue with her coming down to the courthouse. But if I allow you to be by Zoom, and I've never had a problem, I'm looking at this, I've never had a problem of you not being on time.
I don't know.
So, we will do it by Zoom. Ms. Ferguson, can we do this Monday or Tuesday? And then at that time, if it's not received, then it's not received. We've given them a chance to have it received. Okay? All right. Defense, Monday or Tuesday?
Monday works for me, Your Honor.
All right. Does Monday work for you?
Yeah, and my client's on leg monitor. and-
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Not Monday. Kim, because I'm not going to be here Monday. Someone else will be here Monday.
Oh, okay.
So-
We'll be back to the same.
You
problem.
you may want to move it to the 13th.
And I'm available the 13th, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, may she get her leg monitor taken off today since she's in town? Since it's an agreed deferred reduction to a misdemeanor, the court following. the bargain.
It will probably be, where are you from?
I live in Medina.
Oh. Okay. You know, when I first was coming to San Antonio, we were driving from Louisiana, I would see signs all the time that when we were trying to find our way, you are now leaving San Antonio. And we were like, quick, get off the freeway. And then I realized you're not really leaving San Antonio. So I thought maybe she was not anywhere close. I mean, Medina is not, it's not like it's not a 6-hour drive. Am I
It's an
right?
hour away, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah. You know what, when you have to drive the hour, and I understand gas prices, I understand traffic, but if you realize that the drive, I'm just gonna reside myself to enjoy it. Look at the scenery. It's probably a beautiful drive. So we're gonna come back on the 13th, and on that day, we can address leg monitor issue. Okay.
The drug court evaluation is whether or not.
So we're recalled on December 13th at 9 a.m.
Is there any?
And you can appear by Zoom. In defense, if you need to appear by Zoom, you can appear by Zoom as well. All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
May I get a copy of that?
You mean the Zoom link?
No, the,
The biggest thing that I had was that she was a grandchild.
Oh, yeah.
give the board, just in case that, you know.
Oh, I'm sure they'll,
Maybe.
they'll
I
get it.
might need to do on my.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a report, there was a nurse at a pediatric. Left with an 8-month wait time. She's doing all this.
All right, Adriana Ayala. Thank you. Adriana Ayala.
Okay.
Just good.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks.
Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling. If I can have everyone be quiet, please. Court is calling 2020 CR 10020, State of Texas versus Adriana Ayala. Can I have parties announced for the record? State, defense,
Stephen Harkowitz.
and are you Adriana Ayala?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Adriana Ayala who's placed on community supervision for the offense of assault family second offense on October 11, 2021 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Condition number one, on or about the 24th.
I took her to the hospital. Was not making for her.
Madera County, Texas, and Adriana Ayala. Condition number one.
I saw
How do you
her
plead to that? True or not true?
2 nights ago. She was fine.
Any objections to the waiver?
No, Your Honor.
I guess
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in prison? Did you understand that? Okay, you're whispering.
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find violation of condition number one true. Is there an agreement?
To order a referral to Esperanza Court.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Do you want Esperanza Court?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Judge, and also we agreed to, yes,
All right, what case are you TICing?
it is County Court 693534.
All right. Do you have any children?
I do.
And what are their ages?
28 and 22.
Okay. So who are you going to be staying with? Do you live by yourself? Do you live with someone else?
If I come out within a reasonable time, I still have my home waiting for me and my job waiting for me as well.
All right, so I'm going to deny and alter and amend to Esperanza Court. And does anyone know, do they prefer that she remain in custody? All right, but what do they prefer? Okay, does anyone have any objection to me texting the coordinator for Esperanza Court?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so she's going to remain in custody and they will meet with you and screen you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're accepted into Esperanza Court, what will end up happening is your case will actually be transferred to Esperanza Court. The only time you will come back here is for one or two reasons. One, you're coming back here because you're graduating and you want me to appear at your graduation, which I will do. Or two, because you didn't follow through and they're saying that they can't help you and you don't want the help and they're removing you from the program, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so she's to remain in custody. until transfer. And probation, if for any reason she's not accepted into Esperanza Court, let me know. And we'll take that up. Is there anything else?
Not right.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thanks.
No, the judge said we'll talk about it at that time.
Did you finish speaking with Asim Wilson?
I did, Your Honor. I met with Mr. Wilson. I'm going to confer with Mr. Sanders for the fit on this case, but I'm going to be asking the court for a recent.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Asim Wilson. Mr. Wilson, if you can come down, can you give me a reset date in the new year? And if you want it back sooner than that, we can have it
Yes,
back
Your
sooner. All right, we're going to come back on January 23rd. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, thank you. Who's here on Anthony Pettis? All right, thank you. Are you all ready to proceed? All right, have him come up. Court is calling 2019 CR 6428, State of Texas versus Anthony Pettis. Can our parties announce for the record for the state
Marcus Sanders,
defense?
Jonathan Pettis for Mr. Anthony Pettis.
Are you Anthony Pettis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I remember. This is your cousin. You're talking little cousin. All right, Mr. Pettis, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Anthony R. Pettis who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 6428 for the offense of manslaughter on June 29, 2020 for a term of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas, for the defendant Anthony R. Pettis. The defendant there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed on November 21st, 2023. Violating condition 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Anthony R. Pettis. And there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed on December 10, 21. Violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations of conditions 5 and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations of 5 and 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find 5 and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Followed by 12 months of ISP. And also no contact with the property on campus. Judge. MIRELES.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
All right, do you understand that to be the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Anthony Robert Perez.
All right, so why are you not reporting?
Can I elaborate?
Yes.
So when we entered into this agreement in June of 2020, one of the conditions, it's not a blatant disregard for the conditions of probation. I believe that there's been a long history of mental health concerns, Judge.
Yes.
And I think what you had ordered back in 2020 was that he stayed current and seeing is that he stays current and seeing this. He's accompanied today by his mother and father. They're here.
Okay.
So most of this is having to do with getting on the right medication and somewhat with the mental illness aspect of this. It's not a blatant disregard for the conditions of probation by the court, Judge. There was a period of time where when he was placed on probation, that he was doing really well. And he had been continuing to go to the facility and they altered some of his meds. The family's here today and they're in agreement also that they want him to try and, in safety to get on track. There's some issues in the MTR itself, where there's some admissions that he's making regarding substances, which if you look at the same times for those dates, it's not even true. There are some positives, but most of them are negative. So it leads us to his own the own weight of his own credibility for what he's saying. And that goes in regards to the medication that he's on. And it's my understanding that he was switched on his meds and there was a shot that was given to him and it kind of threw him out of whack, Judge. And so this is a mental health concern and a medication concern.
All right. Does his parents want to come up?
Yes, if I
Yes.
could bring his father up, he can elaborate
Yes.
further.
All right, if you could stand to that direction. Hello, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Anthony Pettis.
All right. So this is what the court's concerned with regards to motions to revoke or anytime I set conditions, I want to make sure that they're the right conditions. So the attorney is telling me that there is some different issue, that this may not be a drug use issue. It may be a prescribed medication issue. So has that been addressed? And if so, how?
Yes, ma'am. They changed his, I've taken him to all his appointments. They changed his medication, or he was climbing the wall. And I had to call every morning to take him to go UA, also get the patch. And a lot of times I couldn't run him through the building. He'd be out there in the front just screaming and hollering at all the cars, just me chasing him everywhere just to try to keep him out of trouble until they put him back on the meds he's on now. They wanted to try something, but that was like a 2-month period. By the time they give him the injection, and they gave him the injection again, those monthly injections, he's just climbing the walls. And that incident that he had at the school, he knows better than to be outside in the front, but he was up before I got up, and he's hollering something like there's a serial killer inside the school, just scaring all the parents and everything. And that's right across from Andy Mireles, and I knew Andy Mireles. He was a respectable, he was a really good judge. And so when he gets out, he's not going to be living at Corsicana Mill. He won't be living close to a school. And when that happened at the school, I knew the state needed to do something, because they have to protect the children there. And if not, then everybody answers to, including the 187th and everyone. But I took him to all his appointments, and when I couldn't run him through there, I would go in there and I tell him, look, he showed up, but he was put on there that he's incapable of going through the line. And then I would take him from there straight to the probation office, because he's all out of his mind, and the doctor's there and everything. And they're really good people over there. They tried to help me the best they could, but they told me, hey, the best thing for him right now, because he hasn't had the chance of an inpatient facility where he can be for a while. So he can get leveled out, but also it'll get him away from the school. And I agree to that. I think there's a 9-month program or a 4-month or what have you, but the longer, the better. So maybe he can learn, because he was smoking cigarettes like crazy, like 15, 20 cigars a day. And now he ain't smoking at all. And those doctors would tell me that when they're smoking like that medicine won't attached to the receptors it needs to attach in the mind. It's attaching all through the body. So, I don't like him in jail, but when I talk to him, he says, hey, Dad, can I stay here? Anybody in jail's crying to get out, crying to everybody. But him, he seems to be doing all right. And maybe him being separated and learning something, I accept my responsibility. I could be the problem for an enabler, because I've been taking care of him since he was a kid. But every day I got to do something. My life revolves around them. I can't even go get a job. I have to work from home. I need a life, just like he needs a life, and he needs to learn something. The only bad thing is I got another son that's out of control, that brought drugs into the house and all that stuff. I adopted him, and our family doesn't do drugs, and You know, it's just been chaos. And right now he's running around threatening everybody. He's over there supposed to go to the 144th for family violence. And
Related to this one.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
okay.
well, you know,
No, I'm trying to
I'm-
see,
I'm-
sometimes people need to communicate to
yeah,
vent.
I'm going through a tough time, but I don't give up on my children.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like you need a vacation though.
I do need a vacation.
Yeah.
I do need a vacation, but my other son, I can't have both of them in the Bexar County Jail at the same time because my other son's got charges here. And also in Atascosa threatening to kill us and all this stuff. We almost had a knife fight the other day right in front of the house and the cops show up. It was bad. He had some guy pull up to the front with a gun behind the door and I ran him off the deck of him. You know, it's crazy, but I can't have both of them in Bexar County at the same time.
Okay,
So if you do rule, Your Honor, please, with all due respect, maybe they can ship them, the sooner the better.
okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so probation. With regards to his case, is safety the appropriate place or is there? I know because he has the mental health issues and he's medicated, there's some issues with that. So I mean, it sounds like, I don't know if they'll accept him, but it sounds like the better placement for him would be ISF cognitive and ISF maybe substantive, but I don't know if cognitive will accept him. Will they accept him if he's on his meds?
With safety, depending on the type of medication, if it's an injection, they'll accept them and they are more to provide.
Well, they just said that the injections are not good for him. So what about DDRF?
PDR, people can screen, the last time we had a screen was 2020. Didn't need any more. And currently the wait time for males is about 42.
Oh, well, we can't do that. So see, people, this is, now let me vent. I don't appreciate the facts that people who need help with mental health have to wait in custody for 42 weeks just to go to get treatment. And I know that's not your fault. I'm just venting. Hopefully somebody in the legislature will hear. Like, yes, I know the Bexar County Jail should not be a place to address mental health issues. But from everything I'm listening to, it doesn't seem like his issue is a safety issue, like he has a drug problem. His issue is he has a mental health issue. They changed his medications. And I guess because people are not wealthy, they couldn't readjust his medications immediately. I mean, if he were wealthy, he could go to a place and say, okay, I'm here till I get, leveled out on my medications. But I want something other than safety, because honestly, I don't even think they'll accept him because he doesn't have a drug problem. He just wasn't on his right medication. And his father, I understand his father needs a vacation.
Mhm.
He's dealing with 2 adult children. And I don't think he thought his life would be where it is right now, where I'm still having to actively parent.
One other agency, it's a
It
residential.
changes too much.
Yeah.
All right, let's, what we're gonna do then, I'm gonna see if Lifetime Recovery will accept you. We'll do Lifetime Recovery. I'll order that. He's to remain in custody till transferred to Lifetime Recovery. If for some reason and I'll need you to stay on top of it, which
Yes,
I
of
know you
course.
will.
Thank you.
If some reason Lifetime Recovery doesn't accept you, we'll bring you back at the beginning of January and see what we can do. But I just don't think safety is appropriate placement.
Judge, it was a thing where he was doing so fine. I guess they tried to, hey, this shot or injections will work better. And it just completely didn't.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to call you back for January 9th. And we'll see if Lifetime Recovery is able to accept you. If they're not able to accept you, if there's no objection,
No objection.
I'll see if I can call around and make some phone calls to see if there's some other placement or somebody knows of some placement that will be great for him.
I appreciate it, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank
And you may need a vacation from your dad. Sometimes children need vacations as well. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, we're going to do Lifetime Recovery and refer him to, and we're going to bring him back on January 9th. Yes. And he's to remain in custody until Lifetime Recovery accept him. They don't have doctors to prescribe meds. Well-
But what they did is they had my guy's doctor call the meds in to the closest to that Southton facility, and they had someone go pick up the meds. And they're monitoring and taking the meds, but they just don't have any doctors that prescribe them.
Okay.
So the meds have to follow them there.
Did his attorney leave?
Jonathan.
Yeah, if you can call Jonathan back. Oh, Jonathan. Oh, Mr. McCrum, could you let Jonathan know that?
Getting it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Brenda, it takes a village. All right, who's here on Nicholas Armstrong?
I am Judge. Morning.
Good morning. All right, and is he in custody?
No,
Oh, where is he?
she's not here today, Judge.
He's not here? All right, can I have a prosecutor? Court is calling 2022 CR 7970, State of Texas versus Nicholas Armstrong. Can our parties announce for the record for the state
Marcus Sanders.
defense?
Alfonso Otero on behalf of Mr. Armstrong.
Okay. And off the record for a moment. And also, Mr. McCrum and Mr. Pettis.
Yes.
Also, you may want to call Woody Halstead because I know he's on the board of Lifetime.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we're back on the record. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:23 a.m. The defendant is not present in the courtroom. Deputy Laura, did he announce?
I said the hallway, he did not answer.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Judge.
All right, state.
Judge, we're asking that the bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. All right, thank you.
Maybe excuse.
Yes. Hello.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing? It's always good to see you.
Doing wonderfully. Have bad news.
Yes.
The jail didn't bring my client over.
Oh, let me see what's going on.
Yeah.
Who's your client?
Jose Romero here for a PR bond hearing.
Oh, we can still take that up if you have no objections.
Oh,
Dr.
absolutely.
The jail has a limited number of people we're allowed to bring over.
Okay,
So if you confer with the state on that.
absolutely. Okay, I didn't know that.
And
Thank you, Judge.
here's the, a copy.
Okay.
Confer with the state. Thank you. Roseanne Garcia,
Howdy, Your Honor.
howdy.
She is in custody, but the jail took her to the hospital.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So what we'll do is we'll give you a reset date sometime in the new year. And if you want her brought over sooner than that, just let us know.
Brought over where?
If you want her brought over sooner than that, because I'm
Okay,
just going to give you a date in the new year.
all right.
And she may be out of the hospital before then, just let us know. Miss Ferguson, can you put this in later January? All right, so we'll come back on the 23rd, and if you're able to have her here sooner than that, just let the court know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great one.
Yes, and
All right, bye-bye.
bye.
Yes. Who's here? Hi. All right. She doesn't have ignition in her light.
She sold the vehicle, Judge. You have a receipt.
All right, come forward.
She sold the vehicle for parts.
All right, are there any other vehicles available for you to drive at your home?
No, ma'am.
All right, so what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to do an affidavit of non-driving. And then I'm going to order Scram or one of the mobile devices. You can get on it, whichever one is least expensive.
I think a portable is probably least expensive, and she
Okay.
also recently started working, so that may be
issue with her employer, seeing her with a ankle monitor on.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you, I'll alternate amend for portable. Ms. Ferguson, can you have her officer Leslie Lopez zoom in?
Does that have to be, we can waive fees? I am retained, but it's kind of stretched her finances. She's also gonna have to hire an immigration attorney on top of it all.
Oh, do you need an immigration attorney appointed?
Well, let's see if she can afford one, and I might have someone who would help, and if not, I will reapproach it.
Okay. It's Leslie Lopez. And you'll need to present this to pretrial services. All right, they're gonna have her zoom in. If you'll have a seat and we'll have her zoom in. That way we can, I can let her know what I'm expecting. All right. All right, it should have been sent. Oh, Norma, I see this file on Roland Garza. It's Joe Sternberg is the attorney. All right, can you help him back? Because I think he only had one person, thought he had one person, and I just saw this. And to the officer who's here for the warrant, just give me a moment and I will get to that shortly. I think. Didn't I already pass it to you, Lupe?
You're
Really? Six of them.
Lopez.
Lopez?
What, okay, so I have a sticky note that says Attorney Joe Stenberg.
Oh, no.
That's,
Oh, okay, I see. All right. Okay. Oh, it's Rolando Garza. Are you ready? All right, let's bring him up.
First, the one day I just.
Yeah.
All right, so what is happening with this case?
I believe the first issue was whether or not the defendant, he didn't want me to represent him, he wanted to represent the call.
Okay.
And I have a hearing on that.
Okay.
And the other one was the compliance hearing on discovery.
All right, so we'll take up the, are you still saying that you don't want this attorney representing you?
Your Honor, at this time, I haven't even been shown any of my discovery or anything that's
Nope,
going
that's
on.
not my question.
No,
And see, here's,
I would rather represent myself. Your
all right,
Honor,
so
yes.
here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. And then, of course, you can do whatever you want to do. A lot of people believe that attorneys, like anybody can be an attorney. And I don't know, I think we all just, go to law school just because we're like, hey, let's go to law school and get law school loans over $100,000. But guess what? We can just go out and without a law license, represent people. Here's the thing about representing yourself. If you want to do that, then you can do it. But guess what? Nobody's helping you. Don't come to me asking me how to get evidence in. Don't come to me acting as though I'm going to be your, attorney to make sure that all, that you know what the rules are, because I'm not going to give you a crash course on the rules of evidence. I'm not giving you the crash course on how to get items submitted. I'm not giving you a crash course on how to get discovery. I'm not going to be doing any of that. That will be all on you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to go on the record. And I believe he has two cases. Court is calling 2022 CR 4824 and 2022 CR 4829, State of Texas versus Rolando Garza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? All right, and Mr. Garza, you wish to represent yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how far did you go in school?
I didn't graduate.
That's not my question. My question is, how far did you go in school?
For ninth grade, Your Honor.
All right, so you went to the ninth grade. Do you have any legal experience?
No, ma'am.
Have you read any law books?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you know anything about the Code of Criminal Procedure?
Somewhat, ma'am.
Do you know the rules of evidence?
Not extensively, but somewhat.
All right, and so you have an attorney here to represent you. Are you still insisting on representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so counsel, he's going to be representing himself, but you can be, you'll stay on as standby counsel, but he is his own attorney now. All right.
Can I get a ruling on any of the motions I submitted in them?
You'll need to set those for a hearing, and those are the last
I have,
instructions that I will give you.
I
Ms.
put in
Ferguson,
for a
can we have
motion.
a date for a hearing on his pretrial motions?
For this one or next?
Let's do it next month. Oh, you know what? No, let's recall him back on Monday. We're gonna recall you on Monday, the 13th, and your motions will be heard.
Okay.
thank you, ma'am.
I printed out a copy for the panel, but if you want, I still have it right here.
Okay, yeah, I got them yesterday from.
Oh, sorry, Monday, the 12th.
Public safety place.
Thank you, Brenna.
I called yesterday. And
Your Honor, motion on the PR bond.
You will come back for your motions on the 12th.
She tell you that she just printed them out for me.
No. She made it.
All right, and we'll be back here on Monday at 9 a.m. Is there anything else?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah, no, no.
Ray Don Marshall, good morning. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 8571, State of Texas versus Ray Don Marshall. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense,
John Pettis for defense.
and you Mr. Ray Don Marshall?
Yes, ma'am.
Show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and states first motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Ray Don Marshall who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 8571 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on September 3rd, 2020 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Your Honor, violated condition number 5 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Ray Don Marshall did then and there fail to report the supervision officer as directed for the months of July 2022 and August 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives all the violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It's to deny the motion alternate amendment for ISL.
Okay. And again, this is, I see that it's another mental health issue.
It is a cognitive track, yes, Judge, yes.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ray Don Marshall.
All right, why are you not reporting? This is the second time you've been before me for not reporting.
This time I didn't have transportation.
All right, so where is your support? Who's supporting you
My
or
mom.
helping you navigate?
My mom.
All right, so you're telling me your mom wasn't helping you get to your locations?
I mean, at that time it was hard for us. And
Well, I mean, can't you take the via bus?
yes, ma'am. But I was in Houston at that moment. At the time.
Sorry, what?
I was in Houston at the time.
All right, so why were you in Houston?
That's what my probation was.
So are we asking that he be in Houston or no?
Yes, Judge, and forgive me, I thought that transfer would have already been requested when he went on probation. He is from Houston.
All right, so where's your probation ever transferred to Houston?
My probation officer was down here. She didn't give me one in Houston.
So
No, it wasn't transferred, Judge.
so it wasn't transferred.
No, Judge, and we would request that be transferred and make it easier for him to go ahead and make sure he appears.
So, and I'm not trying to trick you and say, oh, I'm gonna give you more violations, but I'm just trying to figure out the reason behind your not reporting. So you were never transferred to Houston, but you were in Houston?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing you need to understand. You can't just go to where you want to go when you're on probation. If you're supposed to be in Bear County, you got to be in Bear County. Yes.
When I went to the probation office, they were supposed to transfer me to Houston.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, until you're actually transferred, you can't just go where you want to go. You understand?
The fact that they didn't transfer you.
So counsel, do you have any other information in regards to his mother and?
She was in contact, the only information I have, Judge, is that she was in constant contact with the probation officer.
Mhm.
I believe her and Godfather were both listed as points of contact, and there was never a lack of contact between mom and probation officer. And she cooperated pretty fully once the violations occurred.
Mhm.
She was extremely cooperative as far as once, like, hey, you need to telling Radon you need to figure this stuff out and get it right.
All right. So is this really an issue where it needs to be cognitive, or is this an issue where he needs to be transferred officially to Houston?
Judge, I think there are other issues. I'm not gonna fight probation's recommendation. I believe it was ordered that he go through a program. Although that is no longer alleged in the MTR.
All right, so wait a minute. I don't understand why you appear to be upset with your attorney, because guess what? You know why we're here? We're here because you're not reporting. How old are you?
21.
All right, you're 21. So you should be actually, feeling that your attorney is doing a great job. Let me stop you right there, because the range of punishment for this offense is up to 20 years in prison. You're the one who went to Houston, your probation was not transferred. And even if you are in Houston, you're the one who was not reporting. And I require that you report. And the other thing I require is I require everyone to treat everyone with respect in this court. So there's no need for that. Your attorney is trying to figure out what's the best way, I'm assuming, what's the best way for you not to end up in prison for 20 years, and also trying to figure out a way, as I am and as the state is, so that you can be successful on probation and we can craft some kind of creative way for maybe you to be with your mom if your mom wants you with her, and for you to get your life in order.
I didn't have an attitude.
All right, so defense?
Again, Judge, I believe it was ordered. And this just never was completed. This is just a different route that would require him to stay in custody and complete the cognitive track. I'm not going to argue with what's already been ordered, Judge.
All right. So do we want to do probation? What's the wait time for the cognitive? Yeah, local. 1 to 2 weeks. All right, so can we do local ISF and then transfer him to Houston? Yes. So I'll deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions for local ISF and a transfer to Houston. And I can tell you right now, if there's some issue with lack of transportation, I know there are places that give free bus passes, so there's like no excuse. And I don't know why people sometimes don't want to ride the bus. I guess that seems like, oh, I'm riding the bus. What are people going to think? Transportation, the job of transportation is to get you from point A to point B. That's all. And as long as you're getting from point A to point B, who cares if it's via bus? Who cares if it's by a hatchback? You're just trying to get from point to A to point B. I don't know why everybody thinks they need to have a Rolls Royce or whatever. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. And in this courtroom, probation to be successful, you really need to stay in contact with your probation officer, because my job when I place people on probation, I want to make sure that I give you conditions that will help you be successful, and I want you to be successful at it. I take no pleasure in sending people who've been placed on probation to prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But you're going to have to do your part, because your attorney can't do it for you and I can't. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Take it, Judge. Maybe
Thank,
excuse?
yes. All right. Thank you. All right, this needs to be forwarded.
Castrita? Castrita?
All right, and everyone, after the court reporter comes back, we'll take up Gomez and then Flory. All right, and then we'll take up Jose Romero. All right, and then you have a motion for continuance. Could I see that file back? The blue file with the documents in it. Our new four Ortiz, do you have a motion for continuance on Angel Cantu?
Your Honor, that may be something we file for next week, because I'll be in trial.
Okay,
I didn't even know that it was already here.
yes, if you want to talk to the state and see if they have any objections, we'll take that up.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
That's nothing special. I just don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Was it an MTR, right?
No fucking idea.
I appreciate the honesty.
What a man or a woman?
The man.
All right, who's here on David Gomez?
I am, Your Honor. We're ready on that.
All right, if you can come forward in probation, this is no application. Court is calling 2022 CR 7971, State of Texas versus David Gomez. If I could have parties announced for the record for the state.
Marcus Sanders.
Arnulfo Ortiz for Mr. Gomez.
Are you Mr. Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gomez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
As we're proceeding on count one, waiving count two.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Gomez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes, Your
Did you
Honor.
understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with theft, 2,500 to 30,000 of a vehicle, counsel? Did you understand that the range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is, Your Honor.
Mr. Gomez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. There are no applications. There's to be restitution, if any, to George Taylor and no contact with George Taylor. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
It is, along with credit for time served.
All right. State?
Yes. My hesitation is I initially ordered restitution because he was gonna apply, but since it's an agreed sentence, I guess we will strike through the restitution.
Any
That's
objection?
correct. No objection.
All right, next I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty. No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, state offer states exhibit 1 and attachment.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Gomez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
Your
did you
Honor.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client has come to his senses. He understands that the 1 year is a good deal. He apologizes to the court for his behavior. He understands he's getting a little long in the tooth to be doing this kind of thing. That's all.
All right, then the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be no contact with George Taylor. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because, I'm sorry, this goes with it too. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. How old are you?
I am 32 years old.
I mean, at some point, you can't be doing this anymore. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because otherwise you're going to find yourself in and out of the Bexar County Jail or somebody's jail and in and out of prison.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't want that to be your life, you need to change your ways. So I'm going to give you a crash course of cats 1 and 2. Do not take what doesn't belong to you. I don't care if somebody leaves the keys on their car seat. You know, it's not your vehicle.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
take it. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Leslie Lopez. And I'm sorry, miss, if you could come up. All right, and I'm sorry, what is your name again?
Miriam Padron.
All right, Miriam
Padron.
Butler. All right, on Miriam Butler's case, Ms. Lopez,
Padron, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Padron, I'm sorry.
Okay, Miriam Padron. What I've ordered is she's going to have the portable device. She's going to supply you with an affidavit of non-driving. And she's already given the court a copy of the fact that that vehicle has been sold for parts. But she will supply, her attorney will give that to you as well. So when do you want her to, you're on mute. When do you want her to report to you?
Okay, I would just need to get that
the court updated information, then we can go ahead and discuss the next time to report into me. But she does know she's supposed to report in weekly, but as of right now, since we're pending the response of that violation letter we submitted, right now, it's on hold on when she's like the next time to go ahead and see what's her next steps for.
No, they're sending you the violation now. So when do you want her to report?
Once I get it, if I get it within the next hour, I'll contact her today and discuss the next steps to do.
All right, so this is what's going to end up happening. She's going to call you. Yeah, we've already done it. Yes. So this is what's going to end up happening. I want you to call Leslie Lopez today. You have her number?
Yes.
All right, because that violation report and my ruling on it is being sent to her right now.
Okay.
Okay, and she's going to tell you when to report, but you need to get that portable monitor.
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there anything else?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Michael Flory. And probation, this is no application. Court is calling 2022 CR 8419, State of Texas versus Brian Flory. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? And are you Mr. Flory?
Correct, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, and I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Flory, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, waiving count 1 and the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Did you understand in count 2, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams as a second-degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Correct.
That's either yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court doesn't have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Flory, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. All right, everyone, just give me one moment. I'm trying to see something here. All right, can we go off the record for a moment?
I forgot.
Back on the record in 2022 CR 8419. All right, we're back on the record. Are there any motions from the state?
Yes, Judge, we'd like to urge a oral motion to amend the indictment to change the offense date from October 19th, 2020 to August 19th of 2020. In count two.
All right, is there any objection?
No objection. I've consulted with Mr. Floyd.
All right, Mr. Flory, do you understand that is a substantive change to the indictment?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And knowing that, do you still wish to proceed with your plea bargain agreement with that change?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for trial with that substantive change?
Correct.
And knowing that, do you still wish to continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then the court will grant the oral motion. All right, I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, according to the plea, just one second, let me see where we're left off right now. My mind is a steel trap, but not today. That's okay. It's Friday. I'm trying to get people. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
You understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
If they offer states exhibit 1.
No objection.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states one in attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is finding you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So from reading police reports, I see that you have a girlfriend. I don't know if she has children or not, but do not bring this to her doorstep. You understand?
Mhm.
And if she has children, do not bring that to her doorstep when she has children. It's easy for adults to do foolish things, but children have no choice but to be involved with it because you're making them be involved.
Yes, ma'am.
So be a good human being. If not for yourself, be a good human being for children and people that you're involved with. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Judge.
Who's here on Jose Garcia? Come forward. All right. What is happening with this case?
Your Honor, I have heard with the state, they've made an offer I'm talking to my client about it. He is in the back room. He was in a car wreck and he's laying on a couch back there. I can bring him in if you want to. It's kind of, he's like there to watch walk than me, so.
Mhm.
Uh,
I mean, he needs to be in, so.
yes, ma'am, I can bring him in.
Yes, if you could.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm liking the tie.
Well, thank you. And it's my mother's birthday.
Oh, tell her I said happy birthday. Yeah, I see. I'm getting into it. I'm only one person. That's next on the list. I'm putting it in order. All right, so Mr. Garcia, my understanding, an offer has been tendered to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we set this for a plea deadline date? Make it the third week of January. All right, we're going to come back on January 17th. And that will be your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer or not. If you choose not to accept it, then your next step will be jury trial. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we'll give you a reset form and then you are excused.
You're 17th. Thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too.
And your point citizen, okay.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, I've already talked to the pretrial services officer and she's waiting for that documentation from her, but I've instructed your client to call her. Okay. Yes, and if you could help with that contact, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, thank you. All right, could I see Detective Henning? All right. All right, so State, are you ready to proceed on this? I remember we got this reset because of the I guess the victim impact.
Yes, Judge, we are ready. I appreciate the reset. I reached out to an officer and he didn't want to give an impact statement.
So is he here?
He did not want to give an impact. statement.
Okay, thank you. You know, Brenna, when we're not wearing our glasses, I can't hear without them. So now I understand. I mean, it's true. Everybody who has glasses will understand. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7274, State of Texas versus Antonio Melendez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
Defense.
Miguel Hernandez for the defense.
All right, and the court is also calling 2020 CR 7275, State of Texas versus Antonio Melendez. All right, we have an interpreter present. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from Spanish into English and English into Spanish, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Arlene Abrams, license number 2081.
And are you Mr. Melendez?
Yes.
Are both parties ready to proceed? Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court go along with the plea bargain agreement and sentence Mr. Melendez today. And we will waive any PSIs, Your Honor.
All right. All right, and defense, I know I asked this of you when we did the plea bargain agreement, but I like the record to be clear. Even though we're using an interpreter, are you able to speak the Spanish language?
I am, Your Honor.
And do you speak it fluently?
I believe I do, Your Honor.
And were you able to communicate with Mr. Melendez without an interpreter?
I was, Your Honor.
All right. Then in clause number 2020 CR 7274, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 10 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 7275. And that cause number, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal? And did you understand it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we're next going to proceed in cause number 2020 CR 7275. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The same answer as in cause number 7274, Your Honor, to go along with the plea bargain agreement.
All right. Then in that cause number, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 7274. There's to be restitution of $300 and no contact with Rudy Jimenez. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing under that cause number? Thank you. And there's a affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Melendez, did you review a document in that cause number with your attorney entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal?
Yes.
All right, because that's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And because it is a felony conviction as well, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have you speak?
Yes. 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 Okay, thanks.
Yeah. it's a-
That's 3 seconds.
All right, can I see the person on this? Yes. You can mute. Christopher Davis.
That's a judge.
All right, where are we on this case?
The state just provided me a copy of the CD with some records on it. That I need to review.
Oh.
And then there may or may not be any other outstanding items. I'm not certain. I'll have to check against the discovery system, and Contagious, the attorney assigned to the case, and she's not in today. So I'm not able to confer with her.
All right, do you know if any child protective services issues are involved?
There are, that's the records they gave me today.
All right,
Children are removed and living with a relative. What I understand.
all right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date in late January for discovery, please?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's 26.
All right, so Mr. Davis, we're going to come back on January 26th to see where we are in discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who's here on, Jesse? Rabago?
Yeah.
All right, so where are we on this case?
I substituted earlier in the year on this case, Your Honor. It's my first setting. We received an offer. It's the first time an offer has been tendered on this case.
Okay,
There's been a little time to think about that.
do you have all the discovery?
I believe I do at this time. Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a plea deadline date in January for Ravago, please. All right, your plea deadline date is going to be January 26th. You need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. And they'll give you a reset form, then you're excused. Arnold Garza. Arnold Garza. Russell Hanshaw. Good morning. What are we here for?
So he set Monday. I was here last week. That was Monday, this Monday.
Mhm.
Colorado.
Mhm.
Over the weekend. Before I can start with outpatient treatment. So. Prescription. Something new to me. Maybe that's.
Okay.
Their court summary talks about status.
So where is he?
He's in college. Judge, he's taking a drug test.
All right, just give me one moment. Okay. So what are you asking for continuance?
There's Judge, there is a,
Did you speak with the state about the continuance?
yes. Probation, she said that there is slot on January 12th. He's got all, this is the one, he also has. That was reset last night.
Okay, so he's coming back on what date then?
Put January 12th so that to allow him to go to that outpatient. I'm not psychiatric evaluations.
Okay.
And I don't know when I don't know. If not.
All right,
Oh,
and,
no, so this is-
okay, so Norma, can we recall Mr. Henshaw? And you say, what, December 12th?
Probably between-
January, can we recall him January 12th? Oh, here you are.
He's on the docket on Monday.
Okay, she'll take care of it. And Norma, if you could write that on the docket sheet that we're recalling it so that he can do a walk through. And he has mental health issues.
For January.
Yes. Alfonso Rodriguez. Who's the attorney for Alfonso Rodriguez? Yes. All right, what's happening with this case?
Besides frustration, Judge, Mr. Alfonso Rodriguez wanted a trial. He's turned down an initial order from the state.
Mhm.
The judge, the court set it for trial. I was not available Monday, Judge. We're here. I've conveyed the offer again to Mr. Rodriguez that the state has tendered before.
Mhm.
He handed me paperwork that he wants to dismiss me as court appointed attorney, application for another attorney,
Well, that's not gonna happen.
and I don't know what,
Here's the thing, Mr. Rodriguez. And I'm coming to you as a person who's been a defense attorney and a prosecutor. Sometimes, and I don't want to know what the offer is. But what I can tell you in this court, I require that the state tender an offer. Sometimes people may think the state's offer is ridiculous. They may think it's too much. Or they may want something else.
I've been putting.
But no,
motions on it. He ain't- he
listen,
ain't-
no, stop, listen to me.
Sorry.
So sometimes maybe an offer that's tendered to you, you don't like that offer, you want something else. Then you can tell your attorney, you know what, I don't like this offer, this is what I want. And then your attorney is obligated legally and ethically to go back to the state and say, my client won't accept this offer, but this is the offer he wants. And then the state may say, well, that's ridiculous. Or the state may say, yeah, we'll give him that. Or the state may say, you know what, we're not going to give him that. And I can tell you, they won't say it's ridiculous because I require that everyone treats everybody with respect.
Have you read the,
So-
have you read the file, man?
So here's the thing. I don't know anything about your case. The only thing I know is what you're charged with, and that's all I'm supposed to know. So I know that you're charged with a possession less than a gram. I know that you're charged with theft under 2,500 enhanced, and I know that you're charged with a possession 1 to 4 grams. That's all I know about you. That's all I know with what you're charged with. So you didn't go to trial. And the reason why you didn't go to trial is because we were already in trial on another case. And that was a capital murder case. So whether your attorney could be here or not, it didn't matter. You know why it didn't matter? Because you were not going to trial because we were already in jury trial on another case. And I can't split myself in two to do two trials at one time. Brenda can't take a record for two trials at one time.
So I could
So-
get it over with right now?
Hmm?
I could get it over with right now?
Oh, we're not doing a trial right now.
No, I'm saying like, if I plead, I could just. get it
Well,
over
if you
with.
want to accept a plea, you can accept a plea. I'm not forcing you to do it. Your attorney is not forcing you to do it. But my understanding from your attorney is an offer has to been made. You can either accept it or reject it. If you want a jury trial, we will get you a jury trial. But what I'm going to tell you is we have limited number of juries. That jury trial is going to happen in the new year. It's not going to happen in December. So if you want to enter a plea, you can. If you do not, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. If people want a jury trial, I want to give them a jury trial. Okay? So do you understand? All right. So let's not get upset with attorneys. Let's not get upset with each other. You know what? It's Friday. It's a beautiful day. So just communicate and communicate in a polite way. And I tell you what, your attorney's going to communicate with you politely. I've been communicating with you politely, and you can communicate with him politely. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. All right, Joseph Anzadulia. And then Mr. Rodriguez, if you're ready on yours, I'll take you up next.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your patience. All right, on this case, it said that the state, the last time we were here on the 2nd, it said the state was reviewing their offer for some reason.
Yes, ma'am. My understanding is that I did give an affidavit to the state. They have looked that over. There are some pending cases, is my understanding, for Joseph, that have not yet been filed. I believe that one of them has a complainant that I know they want to speak to, and that they can probably speak to that before they were able to make an offer. They have not been able to make contact.
Okay, and what are these pending cases?
One of them is a burglary of habitation.
Right.
And then the other is assault of a pregnant person.
And I'm assuming have a bond been set on those cases, or has it been filed yet?
The assault pregnant person, that one was an at-large case, so that one won't have a bond. On the burglary application, I believe it was an arrest case. I would assume that
He has made bond on that.
All right, and is the burglary habitation case, the complainant, the same person?
Let me know.
All right, so I don't know if they ordered it on that burglary habitation, but that person where that case is out there that I don't know anything about, the assault on a pregnant person,
Yes.
I'm not taking that as true, but it would probably be best for you not to have any contact with that person.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure your attorney will tell you that.
Yes, Your
And he's not, Your Honor, just so, of course.
All right, thank you. So when will you have information for them?
So we could reach out to the burglary application, complainant, we have their information in the police report. The assault pregnant person, I know that one was recently, they just started trying to contact the complainant a day or two ago.
Okay.
And they just sent out a victim contact letter, so I don't know.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll set this late in the new year, like at the end of January. If you all are able to work out something before then, just let me know and we'll see if we can put it on the docket sooner.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna give you a date so you'll know when to come back. All right, it's gonna come back on February 2nd. Just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson. All right, and Manny Rodriguez, who's been waiting patiently. Manny Rodriguez III. All right, so yours is Jose Romero.
Yes, it is, Judge.
Okay. And state, they're requesting a PR bond. And so where are we on this?
We wouldn't agree to PR bond.
Okay.
We would offer the police report. He's smashing random windows at a YMCA. Cars in the parking lot. And then I think he had like a terroristic threat conviction and an injury to child conviction. So I said I would agree to lower it, but not.
So here's the problem with this case, Judge.
Mhm.
The magistrate judge, I believe it was Judge Jansen,
Yes.
put condition for the special needs unit along with no firearms and stay away from YMCA.
Mhm.
I tried to meet with my client. He refused to see me. We had a PR bond hearing shortly after his incarceration with Judge Shelton. He refused to show up to that hearing. And of course, he's not here today.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a mental health issue or what's going on with my client.
All right, let me ask you this. Deputies, can you find out at the jail if we were to order him for sometime next week? Does he want to speak to his,
They could bring him, Judge. The reason that he was.
yeah, because I know we have too many people that Norman, can we, are you available for next week?
I was looking at my calendar. Wednesday and Friday look good for me, Judge.
All right, can we put him on for next week and we'll see if his client shows or wants to show? Oh, yeah, well, Deputy Laura. So you can get that to normal. All right, let me see, who do we have left? Do we have Eric Johnson left? Well, I mean, don't hand it to him. I'm just wondering if that's still there, because we probably need to call that attorney. All right, so we need, I thought we'd done that with Ruben Forrest. He was here.
He was here.
All right, let's get Mr. Forrest back then.
Private section.
Thank you. And then, you know what, Norma, can you have Manny Rodriguez come back, please? All right, I'll text him. Yes, could you come back? All right, thanks. Goodbye.
You're welcome.
Deputy Laura, was Brandon Richardson brought over?
He's up here.
Okay, awesome. And his attorney hasn't been in, correct? All right, we're gonna take care of that. Mr. Richardson, we're gonna take care of that with your attorney, okay? Guys, it looks like we may be, today we may go along with the rules that we decided on.
Yes, we were wondering about this.
Yeah, I think they're in full force. Oh, no. See if he's available for Brandon Richardson. Yes. It's a motion to revoke.
Okay. That reminds me, I actually have an MTR setting here on the 9th. I need to pick
Ah.
up an MTR for.
Hey, there you
Thank you for
go.
reminding me.
Sure. Look, see, everything happens for a reason.
As a new number one. Got it. All right. Good. Thank you, then.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
No, okay. No problem. When is it up to? It's set in January. It's not a rush. Yeah.
Oh, Lupe,
Don't worry
can
about
can you bring me this file?
it. Okay. I'll meet you there. Possession form.
Probation. On this case, can you tell me if ISF will accept someone who has a violation of registration?
State ISF or local?
State ISF.
Yes.
They will not? They would, okay. All right, thank you. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, he was? Hi. Oh, thank you. It's always good seeing you. Oh, you should stop in and say hi anytime. All right, you too. Yes, I am. But you know what? We'll have an event here on the 20th, so come by.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for the invite.
Sure. All right, thank you.
First. David first.
Thank you. All right, thank you. I'm sorry, I say that and then I take it back. Okay, yeah. Oh, sure. Right. They're working on paperwork on this. Yes. Yeah. All right, could I see the file on Perlata Garcia, please? Mhm. No, no. Man. Because I don't know where Joe is. This is like this. Hmm? Okay. But it's- All right, when do you want to recall this? Well, she's not here, so we'll need to do it. You know, recall it and see if she shows. Is she on a PR bond or a surety bond? It's 2022 CR 7774. All right, Norma, recall this, the second week in January. What date? Okay. That's done. All right, and where is Arnold Garza?
No show, but he showed up at the last. That's when he was saying. They mentioned that he was able to get a hold of him and he was trying to.
All right. Court, you ready? Court is going to call 2022 CR 7734 State of Texas versus Arnold Garza. Can I have state announced for the record?
Marcus Sanders.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It's now 11:59 a.m. The defendant has not appeared, and the court will note that the defendant was a no-show on September 26th, and the court recalled it for September 27th. The defendant was a no-show, and each time defense counsel arrived late. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Mr. Garza?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, he did not answer.
All right, state,
Requesting that you forfeit his bond and issue a warrant.
that'll be granted and he'll be remanded without bond. There you go. All right, Henry Peterson, who's here for Mr. Peterson? Good morning. All right, so we're here, the state is supposed to submit some records and speak to a witness.
I don't know about the witness part, Judge, but yes, we got the records. We both were able to get the records yesterday.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna need an acknowledgement of discovery done. Are you prepared to do an acknowledgement of discovery to supplement with those records, state? All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery. And Ms. Ferguson, I'm gonna give you a plea deadline date, Mr. Peterson, just because your attorney has been given records.
Yes, ma'am.
But after that, it'll be a quick jury trial, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date for plea deadline date in January? All right, so we're gonna come back on January 23rd, and that will be your plea deadline date. All right,
Yes, Your Honor.
Just one more minute. If the court recalls, Mr. Peterson is the one who had some issues with the
Scram.
scram device.
Mhm. Yes.
What's happened since then? About a month ago, I believe, they put him on a new scram device.
Mhm.
Actually, about 2 months ago. right?
It's 2 months
About 2
ago.
months
and
ago. And he has had no problems with the new scram device at all.
Okay.
The brand new monitor is what it is, and it's
Okay.
been working fine. He is still testing
I
weekly.
Do my UAs
Yeah.
every week. I've never failed.
And he hasn't had any problems, no failures at all. He's also on a GPS monitor. We've asked the court if the court would consider removing one or the other. Since it's really up to you, Judge, since he's testing weekly. I don't know if it's spam.
all right, so state, if you don't have any objection, what I'll do is I'll remove the weekly testing because they're telling me now that the scram is on, it's showing up as negative.
Well, Judge,
I
our
report-
concern is, yeah,
Can
and our
I-
concern is that this, because the scram device had problems before, he doesn't have any problem continuing the weekly testing part.
Okay.
If the court would remove the scram, because he's got the two ankle bracelets together that cause an irritation.
What are the two?
He's on GPS.
GPS on right leg, scram on the left
And
leg.
he said no issues at all on the GPS monitor. Judge. And that's over a year.
I don't drive.
He doesn't drive. He's in fact. his
And I
driver's
signed
license-
paperwork with the court saying I wouldn't drive, and I don't. Don't have a driver's license, don't want them back.
Guess if we can, let me look into some things, if we can come back on that matter.
We can, that's fine.
All right, if you all want to come back on Tuesday on that matter, and your client doesn't have to be present on Tuesday.
Okay.
And we can do it by Zoom. If you all want to do it by Zoom.
That'll work. Judge.
All right, so we'll come back on Tuesday. And that'll be by Zoom. Ms. Ferguson, we're gonna put Mr. Peterson on Tuesday by Zoom. And it's just to address the issues of the monitors he's on.
Do I have to be here now?
Oh, you can do it by Zoom if you want to do it by Zoom.
I don't.
Ah, okay, so,
Or if you give me 10 minutes just to look into some stuff.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes.
okay, all right. So just wait, we may not need you back. All right, who's here on Benjamin Castrutita?
I'm present on that. Judge.
All right, I know I'm mispronouncing the last name. Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right, your case has been dismissed. I don't know anything about the facts of the case, But make sure you don't come back here for any more cases, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever you need to do to help yourself, if there's an issue of sobriety, there are plenty of places that can take care of that, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
If you will let me do this, please, very quickly, then I'll take the docket matter. All right, and on Rodriguez, are we just pleading to one case?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 9937, State of Texas versus Alfonso Rodriguez. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state
Marcus Sanders.
defense?
Here about this, for Mr. Lucas.
All right, and are you Mr. Rodriguez? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I had it wrong.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're waiving the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, court doesn't have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Hmm.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does,
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Your Honor. Yes, he is, and he was.
Mr. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. They'll take in consideration 2022 CR 7369, 2022 CR 7370, and County Court Cause number 686517. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, state offer states exhibit 1 in attachment.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places? I'm going to need you to speak up.
Excuse me.
Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, lab reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. Court is finding there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court is finding you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, it appears that you have a drug problem. If you would like, I am, of course, going to follow your agreement, but if you would like, I could request the therapeutic community The therapeutic community does not increase any time that you spend at the prison. If your sentence is 2 years and you are in the therapeutic community, you're only going to be there for at most 2 years. Do you understand? If your sentence is 6 months, then you only be there for 6 months. You understand? So the therapeutic community is to help you work with your drug issues. You understand? So would you like the therapeutic community?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2022-7369, 2022-7370, and county court cause number 686517. And I'll order the therapeutic community. Again, with the therapeutic community, you'll have to request it as well. If you don't request it, you most definitely will not be placed in it. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Rodriguez, it appears from my reading the report that you have a drug issue. When you get out of prison, you need to make sure that you find some sober meetings, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is you're going to use again. And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. People who are selling illegal drugs, they don't care about you. They're just trying to make their money, and they're trying to make their money as quickly as possible. And if you were to overdose, or if you got a bad batch of drugs, what would end up happening? That person who sold you those drugs, they're just going to go on to the next person. Don't let me end up reading about you in the news, okay? For something bad.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. All right, why don't I have this file on Benito Vasquez? I mean, he's remanded. Sir, who are you here for? All right, can I see that? Oh, here she is. Can I see that phone? Yarborough? All right, you can come forward. All right, Suzanne Kramer.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Well,
Brenda, we having a lot of tall people come in today. We are so close to putting together our team or something. All right, Ms. Kramer, can you unmute?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so you were in a jury trial. Have you had a chance to confer with the state on this case?
A while ago I emailed. He got indicted on September 15th, but I don't believe I've gotten a plea bargain offer. I think they needed to reach out to the complainant, but that's been a while ago, since probably like late September. But what I
know
would
that the first date we have on here is November.
Oh, well, I mean, but he got indicted November 15th, so that's
Yes.
when I was kind of reaching out. But what I would like, before I forget, is some good contact information, because all the contact information I have on Mr. Yarbrough has not gotten me into good contact with him.
All right, just one moment. Mr. Yarborough,
Yes, ma'am.
if you can write on here your contact information for your attorney. And then Ms. Kramer, what we're going to do is we're going to recall this back, and we're going to recall this back for in January.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. Can I have a late date in January? All right, so we're going to come back on January 23rd. Mr. Yarborough, are you available for January 23rd?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, so we're going to do January 23rd at 9 a.m. And
Thank
we're
you,
going to
Judge.
get you the contact information.
Thank you so much, Judge, for letting me zoom in.
All right, and do you have your attorney's information?
I believe so. I have to rummage around some stories, but I do have it.
All right, Norma, can you write on a sticky note her information for him? All right, so, all right, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Ms. Kramer. Oh, Kramer, you have one more.
Well, I've got Betty Jean, but she was sick today and I had texted Norma that I spoke to her this morning. She sounded like death warmed over. She has apparently got that stomach bug. That's just the constant, the symptoms that comes from that.
All right, we're gonna put it down for the same date as this client.
Judge, she
Thank you.
co-defendant, so I can put it down with the other co-defendant.
Okay, when is that?
I would have to look it up. and give you-
Just one moment on that.
No
And then
problem.
Ms. Kramer, I'm gonna text you your client's information so it
Thank
won't
you.
appear live.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I'm waiting on a reset, like there's something different with Betty Jean's reset.
Yes, because she's gonna be reset with the co-defendants.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna send this information to you now for your client. Let me know if you receive it.
Certainly.
All right, Betty Jean is set for January 12th.
January 12th. I will let her know.
And let me know if you receive that message.
I do have it, Judge. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, thank you. You
Thank you.
too. Thank you. Have a great one.
Am I waiting for paperwork? Oh,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone, I am still in court. So if you all are comfortable with waiting or have time to wait, because I have 4 more cases here to take up, or either you can Zoom back in at 2 p.m., but I'm going to place you all back in the waiting room, and this will be the continued link. And if you all could let, Hernandez, I'm still in court with cases. So if you all want to, if you all can wait, you can wait in the waiting room, or if you all would like to, you can Zoom back in at 2. Because I'm going to have it up for the entirety of today, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. I appreciate your patience. The docket is just running longer, okay?
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. My students are great. Yeah, they're my students. Hello.
This coming now.
Yes. All right, thank you. Yes,
On the scram issue, we have no objection to removing
removing,
the scram,
all right, so remove the scram, but keep the GPS.
because I was told that he's on full GPS still. He's just like.
You're on full house arrest. You're on full house arrest, right?
Thank you so much.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can you guys give me a B page on Mr. Peterson, please? Oh, wait a minute, let's go.
114.
remembered that.
And you're right, that jogged my memory too. I looked at that a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
You go ahead and see. And Judge, this is the off docket issue I was gonna.
Yes.
I was with him this morning. He's a man without bond because he picked up, I'm sorry, this is the violation. Picked up a misdemeanor theft case, due to priors. And we're just asking the court to set a bond on him.
All right. Is he in custody?
He is, Judge.
All right. This is what we can do. We can have this brought back next week because of the new law. There are certain things that I need to do in order to set a bond for him.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So just speak with Ms. Ferguson about a date for it.
You're gonna be off Monday.
Yes, I will not be here on Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. And this one's done. Mhm. All right, I'm sorry, Norma, was John Gonzalez called over?
John Gonzalez was, I think I was wanting to see what the terms about, and he's sick.
And I can't read on this. Is this possession less than a gram
Each.
or 1 gram?
The appointment is gonna be like the third attorney.
All right, you know what? Recall him on Monday. Mhm.
I don't have a lot of information on Monday. You're gonna have to take the, unless, because I got. Somebody over here.
Okay, let's look at who we have and then we'll figure it out.
Fixing it up, Judge.
And I can probably do this,
Okay,
but I can try Monday. I can see what the count is. If not, I would have to do this.
okay. All right, let me see the file on John Gabriel Gonzalez.
Well, still here, right? That's a good thing. That me look excited. Only thing you can see is this one gets.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, problem solved. All right, so oh, but you know what? Even though this is the case, there's some major things I have to put on the record that relates to this. So I am going to allow it, but we'll just have to put some things on the record. So when is he able to come back?
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
When can you come back? Yeah. What time do you come? What time's your appointment?
I got my doctor's appointment at 10 o'clock on Wednesday.
Okay, so that's not Wednesday.
No, I mean, we can Tuesday.
That's fine.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we have Mr. Peterson just come back on Tuesday? And we'll take up this matter with the with regards to the Scram device.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's just a lot of things that are related to it that I have to put on the record.
Certainly.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Loma. All right, are the parties ready on Ferris? Court is calling 2022 CR 5617, State of Texas versus David Ferris. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
The attorney of record is Joanne De Hoyos. Joseph Stateson covering for Mr. Hoyos. And would you give the judge permission for me to do the plea in place of Joanne De Hoyos?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ferris, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Right. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ferris, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ferris, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is recommending deferred adjudication and there's $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, state offers state specific 1 and attachment.
No objections.
Mr. Ferris, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court is finding there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court is deferring finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we're waiving the PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement recommendation, Your Honor. he would like to have a chance to finish deferred successfully. And he does not contest this, and he does understand that he does need treatment and does not want to be back before you.
All right. Have you been employed before?
Yeah, I'm currently employed until this,
It's hard to hear him. It's a little muffled.
That's okay.
until this pay card, I was working. Like, I can go back to my job as soon as I get out.
All right.
I've been working full time this whole year and I go back to my job.
Okay. And what do you do?
I work at a meat packing plant,
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
about a year. And I did with this temporary agency for about 2 years.
And do you have a support system? Who would you be living with if I were to release you? Do you have somebody to stay with, or do you stay on your own?
I'm at Haven for Hope.
Okay.
I've been there for about 2 years, so
Okay. Do you have any children?
no,
How far did you go in school?
12th grade,
Okay.
graduated diploma.
Okay. Awesome.
Uh,
All right. How often were you using?
Just on the weekend.
All right. This is what do you think it's better for you to be on outpatient treatment or inpatient treatment?
Well, probably outpatient, because I can hold a job and
All right.
it's not like an everyday thing.
All right. So they're going to do a TAP evaluation on you. They're going to do a TAP evaluation out of custody. So it's important that you make that appointment. If you don't, what's going to end up happening is it's going to happen while you're in custody. You understand?
Yes,
All right. So I'm going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's $57 testing for SAPD. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Probation, is there any way to look into maybe Victory Outreach will take him? All right, I'm not requiring you to go to Victory Outreach. Victory Outreach is a religious place, and there should be separation of church and state. So I'm not requiring you to do that. But what I'm telling you is I've had people here before who have gone there, and they provide you with a place to stay. They help you get clean and sober. They help you with employment opportunities. So I'm not going to order it, but probation will give you information on that. And I may have. Can you make me just a copy of this top part, just the address and everything. I believe they do have one here, but they have another one that's located in Corpus Christi. So sometimes it's better to get away to new scenery, so you can feel rejuvenated and do things differently. So we'll do a TAP evaluation out of custody. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. And if they would just recommend outpatient treatment, we're still going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. He's to reside at Haven for Hope. Of course, if you're able to get housing, let probation know. Or if you decide to go to Victory Outreach, let probation know. So it'll be okay for him to go there. I'm going to need field visits 1 time per month. 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to do that. But if you do that, then 40 of those hours will be waived. And there'll be regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, thank you.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes,
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes.
All right, good luck to you. We're off the record. Don't be the person who ends up overdosing, okay? I don't want to read about you on the news.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
All right,
Have a
thank
good
you.
Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Stateson. Hi. All right, so, hi, Mr. Elam. Come on down. So what is happening with Mr. Elam?
Judge, we wanted to approach the court to see if we could try to address all of his cases. I was retained on two of the cases, the endangerment case and the theft case. We picked up a new charge of aggravated assault. Mr. Chumley was appointed on that case, Your Honor. And since being retained, I've done work preparing on those two cases. However, Mr. Eland's situation has changed, where he's not going to be in position to continue to have us provide services to him. So I was going to make a request to do a motion withdrawal and see if we have Mr. Chumley appointed to those two cases. They're lesser cases than the current one that he's currently appointed to. And it would just make better sense overall, because I think the assault case is going to drive the resolution of all of his charges here. And so I haven't, he was a fugitive for a while, so I hadn't had a chance to talk to him until today. He got picked up, visited with him. He's in agreement with us, doing a motion to withdraw and allowing, with court's permission, Mr. Chumley to handle the other two cases with the other assault case he's got, so that he can try to get them all resolved with one counsel. But that's kind of where I'm at today, Judge. Again, my cases are a little older than the other case, but the other case is more serious, so.
Okay. All right, just file your motion and the court will hear it and we'll take that matter up.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Ferguson, what day can we bring this back with Mr. Chomley? Oh, Wednesday is fine.
And I'll draft the motion today, Judge, and I'll get it filed on both cases. Do you need me to show up on Wednesday as well?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, so we'll come back on Wednesday and we'll have your other attorney here as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Mr. Stateson, this is,
Yeah.
yes,
Maybe excuse, Judge.
yes, yes.
Veteran treatment court.
Thanks, Judge.
Right.
Petition for something, no one already approved all three of them.
Sure. There you are. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. Have a good one. All right, so is there anyone else that's left on the docket? All right, who are these two people waiting for?
We have Chase Gordon, that was Mr. Pavana, who was here earlier, and Mr. Richardson Brandon. That's for Kenton Longlifer.
All right, so I thought Manny Rodriguez was on that. Was for,
You put Manny Rodriguez on that.
yes.
I don't know where Manny went.
All right, let me see where he is. Okay, guys, we are done for today. And we will be back on Monday. Well, I won't be here on Monday, but other people will be back